This next video is just a little progress report of shows you me fitting the neck to the violin and getting it ready for putting the strings on. So hope you enjoy it. So, rub some chalk on there. And then check that's in line. And then where the chalk touches, just scrape a bit off. The neck is now chopped in. It's a good tight joint, and just to demonstrate that, even though it's not glued, I can let go, as you can see, and it's been checked that the angle is correct that way, and it's straight that way, and it's square. So the next thing to do now is this: I'll chop the saddle in, and then the saddle and the saddle and the neck will be glued on at the same time. Well, in fact, I'll just show you the. And you can see it's just a standard neck joint, if you like. Yeah, so I think that's the hard work done. Get this glued on, and then pegs in, sound post fitted, tailpiece on, bridge fitted, get some strings on, and we'll start making some noise and just see what this thing will sound like. So. As you can now see, the neck is now glued on, and the you can see there the saddle. I made that out of a piece of oak because, well, I think I originally mentioned, or I might have mentioned in a previous video, that the original plan was I was going to make the fingerboard from oak, the bridge from oak, and the tailpiece from oak. Basically everything from oak. I even considered making the pegs, but as I said previously, I'm so eager to hear what it sounds like. I haven't bothered now. So I've got an ebony fingerboard, tailpiece, I've got a pre-cut bridge, and I've actually fitted the pegs in here, ebony pegs. So that's that. And I've also given it a good sandpapering. I know there's two schools of thought on. Some people prefer to finish from the scraper, which, you know, there's no reason why you can't. But I decided I'd sand it. So I've gone down with 4 grades of sandpaper. I think the first one was, I think it was 150 sandpaper. Then I worked down to something like 300. Then I went down to 400, was it? And then the final one was, I think it's 00 grade. Really, really fine. Anyway, that's all done. I'll hold it up there. You can see the oak thing there. And in fact, it must be the light, because when you look on camera, it looks all grubby around there. But in actual fact, as I look at this, it's crystal clean, so it must be something to do with the lighting. But you can see there. When I think back to when I first started this in that piece of oak worktop, and I wasn't sure how it had carved. It hasn't come out too bad. I mean, if I get it's chipped, like you see there where there's a finger joint, it was a little bit, didn't really show up on camera. It's a little bit chipped out there. I think there's a little tiny bit. Need a shave as well. Anyway, yeah, so that's not worked out too bad, that. I did drop a clanger with the fingerboard, because that, where the end of the peg box is, that should have been the back edge of the nut, and the thickness of the nut, and then the fingerboard. Well, of course, what I've done when I glued the fingerboard on originally to get the angle set up as John showed, I'd stuck it to there. So in actual fact, it should have been perhaps 8mm further down that way. So in effect, this neck should have been probably, what, 8mm further, not as chopped in as much, maybe, you know, 8mm so that way. So I suppose it's a little bit shorter. But anyway, we'll see what it sounds like. So that is it now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this neck, fingerboard I should say, back on. I'll leave that to go off whatever it wants overnight or whatever, and then it's ready to go, because as I say, I've got the show you here, I fitted the pegs. I'll put those in like so. I've labelled them up as well so that I get them in the right way, because otherwise they've all been individually fitted. So that is like that. So the pegs are in and fitted. And remember, this is a left-handed violin, so I'll be playing it that way. So this will be the E string over here, so that's why that's slightly offset. But the pegs are fitted. End pin in there, so it's all yeah. So that's it now. Fingerboard on. Get that on now. That'll be well. I'll glue it on temporarily. Because it'll need to come off again when I polish it, but I'm going to put the fingerboard on, then I'll get it string up and we'll see what it sounds like. I'll do a few scales and well, I'll do the best I can, and then we'll see. I'll strip it off then. And then it'll be polished, then put it back together again, and I'll see if there's a difference in sound, because there may well be a difference in sound with varnished and unvarnished. But that is now very near completion, the Worktop Fiddle. So I hope you like that. And there we are, my first violin, or fiddle. Right, that's it for today now. I did initially intend that the bits you've just seen, the short clips that you've seen, I was going to include them in what would be the next video with this, combined with this with the strings on and me playing it, and then I would reappear then with it varnished and the strings back on again. But I'll do that in another video. I thought this is a little progress report now. So that's it. As I mentioned previously, I haven't put perfectly on because I was eager to get to hear what it sounded like. And the same with the neck. If you look at the centre bit there, I haven't finished that. That should have been in a scroll, should have been finished off. But I'm keen to get it done. But yeah, when I think back to what seemed ages ago, and if you go back and look at video 1 and the Worktop in the corner and explain about the finger joints and how would it carve, and it hasn't come out too bad, all in all. It's yeah, I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, you can see there, yeah, very pleased indeed. So I don't think there's much more I can add to that now. As I say, I'll get it strung up and we'll see what it sounds like, and hopefully, I mean, I've heard these things about wolf tones, you get horrible sounds out of the violin for various reasons, so I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but if it does, I'll just have to work out what to do, and so hopefully it'll be good straight out of the box. So we shall see. Yeah. I think that's all I can really say now. It's yeah. Oh, one thing, John, I was looking at it was your walnut fiddle video, and one of your viewers mentioned a book he'd photocopied, and it was oh god, it's got my head now. Oh well, it's about master violins and how they make them. I think I got the impression it was more of a technical book about, presumably about violin acoustics and stuff, and I was just curious if it was any use, and if it was, could you possibly email me a PDF? Is it PDF? A copy of it, if that's possible, if you're kind enough, and well, let me know in the comments anyway. And if it's not worth bothering with, then fine. And if I might learn something from it, because at this moment in time I'm hungry to learn everything violinish. And it's true what you said, because one of your early videos you mentioned about once you make a violin, you'll get the bug, and I have, because as I say, I've got another. You saw in the previous video I made 2 moulds, and there's the second mould of this similar model. Although what I'll do with that is, I said previously, I think it was the belly was, the arch was 50mm high, and the belly was 12mm high. This is on the Guarneri Plowden model. Well, of course, these 2 were 3/4 inches thick, or rather, this was a piece of 3/4 inch pine, so I just left it 3/4 inch. So this is a high arch, and the worktop I cut it down to 3/4 inch, so that's 3/4 inch. I've said previously, it must be an optical illusion, because the belly looks higher, but in actual fact, when you measure it, there's hardly anything in it. But yeah, so that's that. So I'll sign off now, and then I'll reappear I'll say next week now, because these things take longer than what you think, because it's now Wednesday here in England, and I was thinking I might have some strings on this on Wednesday, but it just shows you it takes you longer than you think. And as John mentioned, setting up the violin can take hours, so we'll see. So I won't make any promises. So, well, if we say sometime next week, there'll be a video appearing with the finished article, and then me making a noise. I'll do a few scales, and we'll see. So that's it, me, for now. So this is Gerard McDonald in England, really very pleased with himself with his first violin, and bye for now.